Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Planet X News. It is May 2nd, 2019. Hey, listen, folks. I captured another UFO zipping through the sky. And listen, in no way, shape, or form is this any kind of joke. I decided to set my high-definition camera up outside today in my driveway. And I just wanted to get, some high-definition video of the clouds and the sun. And lo and behold, after I took the camera down and brought it back inside, started uploading the video and taking a look at it, I started to say to myself, what in the hell was that? That just literally zipped across the sky. Now, listen, I have a $4,000 high-definition 4K video camera. It was sitting on a tripod, and again, I just wanted to get some high-definition video of the clouds and the sun breaking through the clouds. Let me sip of my coffee for 1 second. It'll give some folks a few minutes to get in here, get into our video and our live chat. Damn, I make the best coffee. I make this delicious creme brulee coffee. 1 cup of this will keep you going for 8 to 10 hours. No problem. But anyways, folks, I decided to head out into the driveway, and it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun was exactly facing due west of me. And I wanted to get a few pictures and some video of the clouds because, I still have people inboxing me with this nonsense that, they swear up and down that they're seeing planets in the sky. They're seeing planets on the All Skycam network and the FAA cameras and the webcams de Mexico. But in all actuality, folks, I've tried to explain this before, and I'll explain it one more time. If there were planets in the sky that were visible on freaking webcams, first things first, you wouldn't even be viewing those webcams because you would be dead. The Earth would be pretty much destroyed. Okay? Now, I have a few videos that were put together by really credible astronomers and astrophysicists, and they have answered these questions before because I had these questions, but many years ago, probably, I don't even know. I might have been back in college. But the problem is, if you had a planet, let's say that was the size of Venus, and that planet was where the moon is, or even closer, the gravitational force on the Earth would be tremendous. Number one, we would be crushed by tsunamis, flooding worldwide. The magnetic field interaction between our planet and this giant planet that you people are seeing in the skies, we wouldn't have any electricity. Our electrical grid would be completely destroyed. But before all of that occurred, folks, you would all pretty much be dead. So, the best advice I could give you, and look, I'm not trying to be a smart ass here. I'm just tired of people arguing with me because they look at these webcams and they think that they see a pink planet in the sky on the all sky cam network, and all they're seeing is the little pink aperture reflection inside of the dome moving back and forth with the sun. Okay, that's it. I went down that path long time ago. I investigated those cameras. I investigated the all sky cam network. But, you know, these webcams aren't meant for Planet X research. They're just meant for tourists. And none of us are damn tourists. We're truth seekers. So if you're a truth seeker, then I guess you're going to have to find out for yourself if my word is not good enough. And I ask people, okay, well, if you're seeing these planets in the webcams, prove it to me. Show me the pictures, show me the video, and let's check it out. But folks, I've done this for years. And again, I'm not trying to be a smartass here, but I don't have all day to sit here and go over the same situation, which is I see planets in the clouds. You know, and there are other YouTube channels out there that are promoting and provoking this type of nonsense. We already know where that big bad boy is. And those objects are out there lurking around our sun. They are orbiting our sun just about every 28 days. Excuse me. And while more people jump into our live stream here, I'll get into this UFO that I captured today. And a whole team of them were zipping through the sky. Wait till you see this ultra high definition video. You people are going to be pretty freaked out. This is not the first time I photographed UFOs in the sky, in the daytime sky either. Last year, I think it was back in August or September, I was doing the same thing. You know, something just told me, hey, get that video camera out, go set it up in the driveway and see what you capture. And I captured pretty much the same thing last year, but I wasn't able to get a high definition photograph. It's a little teeny tiny blurry, but I'll tell you what, if you're looking at the screen right now, and I hope you're not watching on a cell phone, I hope you got this big bad baby on a huge flat screen TV, because this is going to freak you out, because it's already freaked me out. But last year I photographed a couple very, very odd things in the daytime sky. And yeah, you know what? If you want to look up into the sky and find something, you would probably have a better chance of capturing a UFO than you would be a planet. So, I know a lot of you are probably cussing me out right now, calling me names and kicking me in the teeth. But the facts are the facts, folks. There's just no way that a large planet can get close to the Earth and not literally destroy it. The gravitational force, just by mass, it would literally pull the Earth apart. It would eject the moon out into space, or so far out that the moon would actually start orbiting the sun somehow. So again, you know, if you want to just start breaking it down and you really want to learn about the science of what is happening to our planet, and you want to stop wasting your time by watching idiotic videos that like Steve Olson puts out and some of these other YouTube channels, I got this one bozo out there that was threatening me the other day, this reject from life named Scotty Hall. You know, he's been trying to tell people for the last 2 years, excuse me, that the planet Mars is Nibiru. And he freaks out because I told him, well, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago, I'm like, look, dude, what you're looking at in the sky, that little red dot, that's Mars. Why don't you try looking at a damn sky chart once in a while? So he went absolutely ballistic because he was out there just perpetrating a complete fraud to the 50 people that subscribe to his puny little YouTube channel. So the fact of the matter is I delve into the hardcore science of all of this, because that's where the answers are going to lie, at least for me. They're not going to lie in the little webcams from Mexico or the All Sky Cam network, and they're sure as hell not going to lie in the FAA webcams. So I noticed the other day that WSO put out a video, something about the Jupiter star. The Jupiter star! Well, first things first, folks. Jupiter's not a star. Jupiter can never be a star. It would take 80 Jupiters, 80 combined, just for Jupiter to ignite as a dull red dwarf. And it would actually end up shrinking in size, but its mass would be intense. So I would say probably, I don't know, maybe 99.9% of these YouTube channels that do Nibiru videos and Planet X videos, they pretty much don't know their ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to any kind of science. They just wing it. They show you some sky pictures and, point up there and say, hey, look, that's a planet. That's Nibiru. That's Planet X. Oh, Lord, all hell's going to break loose. The end of the world is here. Even those UK tabloid newspapers do that every single day. I think the one's called The Sun, the other's the UK Express, I don't know, the Daily Mail. They're ending the world every damn day. But guess what? We're still here. But the fact of the matter is, over the course of time now, we are going to have a lot of issues. And we are already seeing these issues, folks. I was checking on Davenport, Iowa today. Wow, man, they are still underwater. They may be underwater for a month or more. And that huge cyclone is bearing down on the coast of India. I got some really good satellite photographs of it. And, we're going to be heading into our hurricane season here in the Northern Hemisphere in about 28 days, 29 days. And I think we're going to have our hands full. And we need to worry about those things and not searching for some fake planets in the clouds. Do yourself a favor. Just stop believing in that. I mean, I really hate to say it. I don't want any of you to get mad at me, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you like some of these other YouTube channels do, because they're just interested in your views. I'm interested in helping you all understand. So that separates me from the bozos. But anyways, let's check out a few things, folks, because I don't want to hold you up, but I wanted to build that suspense. But this really freaked me out today because, this little voice inside of my head was saying, get off your ass and get that camera and go out there and shoot some video of the sky and the sun and these clouds, and maybe you'll see a planet or two. But that didn't happen. Anyways, let's jump out of here. Let's get over here real quick, and I want to show you real fast this big massive typhoon cyclone. This is the coast of India right there, and oh my, you can see that bad boy is tight. It has got a nice rotation to it. It is full of rain, it is full of wind, and it is going to tear up the coast of India. And again, folks, this typhoon, cyclone Fanny, it just kind of came out of nowhere. Kind of odd for this time of year. But it is what it is. And these are the things that we have to be very, very careful with. I was checking out some other additional information today. Getting some of the rain predictions for what we're going to be looking at here for the month of May. And, the soil, our dirt, our earth here in the United States, well, it's pretty damn saturated. And that usually leads to faster flooding, very loose ground, and very high possibility of landslides. We've been having them here in the Pittsburgh area damn near every day. Back in the month of February, because we had like kind of a moist winter. We had 65 landslides between the Tri-County area. 65. They were closing roads down, and they had a pretty massive one not too far from me, and, I documented it and showed you guys everything. But yeah, that's what we're looking at there. So you can see on that map, this is just for the month of May. These are very, very heavily saturated areas. And I was mentioning from the northern tier of the United States here, the state of Minnesota, and moving straight on down the Mississippi Valley, and even over here into Texas, Oklahoma, up into my state. I mean, you could see it. You can see it right there. This is very, very heavily saturated areas, and it's not looking too good. It's not looking too good at all. But I was just going through some weather maps, and lo and behold, big weather once again, and this is going to be the pathway for this weather, probably through the rest of the spring and probably through the rest of the entire summer, and possibly even into the fall. It just seems to be driven by this very, very erratic jet stream, and this jet stream has fallen very, very, very low from where it used to be, and it's driving these air currents very, very far down below the United States, and it's literally pulling this air upward. And you could just see by the large patch right here, that air is being pulled in at a diagonal right across Mexico. It's being hit with other air masses coming up through the Gulf of Mexico. They are converging. Well, you can see right where they're converging, and they are creating some very, very dangerous situations. So it's going to be knocking on my back door, I think, this weekend, Saturday or Sunday. No doubt about it. And this is just, like a 2-week outlook on risk of heavy precipitation. And I'll zoom right in here. You can see that big swath right there. And again, our ground is already completely saturated. So once again, we could have falling trees. Trees have the tendency to get blown over a little bit easier when their root system is completely saturated. And when you get that saturation of the root systems of trees, they tend to start to rot. And then, 20, 30 mile an hour wind can literally just blow them over. But I want to get into this video stuff here. And I'm going to show you guys this. It's going to be very, very interesting. Oh, real quick. Yesterday, right at pretty close to midnight yesterday, our solar wind, boy, we were taking some hits, man. Just before I went to lay down and end my day, this was going from the 1st into the 2nd of May, we had a solar wind spike of 2.5, almost 2.6 million miles per hour, literally battering the Earth. And right behind that came this huge, you can see it right here, this huge influx of heavy electrons just bombarding the entire Earth, the satellite belt, and many, many miles outward from that. So we really haven't seen any effects from this yet as far as a spike in seismic activity. But usually when this does occur, folks, it takes about a good 48 hours, maybe sometimes 72 hours. Those particles really start to penetrate down into the core of the Earth. It does start to heat it up. The internal pressure does start to build. And the next thing you know, we start seeing these bigger earthquakes. And we might even see some sporadic volcanic activity. But it's here. It's coming. And a lot of people were asking me about where those explosions were coming from on the back side of the sun. And well, let me see, where did I put that here? Don't worry, we'll get into the other info here real quick. The UFO info. These explosions on the backside of the sun, I was investigating this a little bit yesterday and first thing this morning because I was able to get some visualizations on this. And those two sunspots that we were talking about 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago, sunspot number 2738 and the littler one 39. Well, that's where the activity's coming from. Yes, it is. If you watch the little video clip that I put up yesterday, that was showing you where that activity is coming from. It is coming from those two sunspots. And I would think in about, well, let's see, I would probably say about 10 days, about a week to 10 days, that sunspot's going to be knocking on our back door again. And it seems to be pretty damn active. As it got to the back side of the sun, it met up with this Planet X object and its buddies, as we saw. That seems to have ignited the activity on that sunspot, especially the 2738. Which was the larger one. And I saw, I don't know, some YouTube video today. Somebody put something out and they were trying to guess at what was occurring on the backside of the sun. They were trying to figure out where these explosions were coming from. And I said the other day, they're coming from that sunspot. That sunspot is now super duper active. And it's going to be moving back around to face us once again. So in a week to 10 days, possibly 14 days, we'll be talking about that quite a bit unless it burns itself out. But we will see. And once again, these are the things that we are going to be dealing with. We're not going to be dealing with imaginary planets in the clouds. I am going to get out of here. And I put this video that I took today, I put it in one of my video making software programs. And I'm going to just stop it right there. I zoomed in very, very, very far. This camera, the one lens on it now is a 50 power zoom lens, similar to my 35 millimeter. it can enable me to zoom all the way into the moon and see some craters. So I was zoomed in, and the piece of video that you're going to be looking at here, this cloud formation was about, I would have to judge, maybe 10 to 12,000 feet in the air, in the sky above. And I didn't notice anything whenever I was videotaping this, because the sun blasting me right in the eyes, even with sunglasses on, I really couldn't see anything. And on top of that, these little buggers that you're going to see zipping around the sky, they move so fast that you cannot see them with the naked eye. It's just literally impossible. And based on the height that they were flying around at, probably 10 to 15,000 feet, maybe even higher than that, I had to slow. Once I caught a glimpse of one on my screen when I was looking at it in my video program, I said to myself, oh boy, there we go. There's the same thing I caught last year. So I slowed the video down. I had to slow it all the way down to 30%, which means I decreased the video speed 70%. When I recorded this, I recorded it in ultra high definition, 100 frames per second in 4K. So check this out. Now you have to be very attentive when you're watching this, because you're not just going to see one of these little objects zipping by. You're going to see a bunch of them. And that's what freaks me out. Last year, I caught something kind of similar. But today, wow, it was like they were having some kind of freaking party in the sky. But I'm going to go ahead and let this play through. And I may have to stop it a few times, but you guys watch around this region. Watch right over here. You'll see him. One of them comes up over here and parks himself right there, but you watch right here, and you'll start to see it. I'm going to have a few sips of my coffee while you people get freaked out. See that one? Look at that. Just zipping right across the sky. Yeah, please don't say it's a bird. Number one, birds don't fly at, 10 to 15,000 feet. And on top of that, birds can't be, flying around at 20, 30,000 miles an hour. Excuse me. See them right on your screen, right there. There's another one right there. Just watch your screen. You'll see them all around this area right here. At first I thought I was seeing things, but because I captured this same thing last year, I said to myself, wow, I better take a closer look at this. And it took me several hours to go through all of this video footage, because I was out there for, I took about an hour's worth of footage. And you see one's parked right there. Another one just zipped by through the bottom. I'm not going to play around with my cursor in the video so I don't mess it up. But just be very attentive. Just be very attentive to the area from the middle of your screen down. Just watch them. You'll see these little balls of light, but they're not little, which I'm soon going to show you. They're coming from every direction. And they're not planes. They're not birds, because birds can't fly at this speed. You look, you see all of them right there. right in front of your eyes. There's no other explanation for it, folks. They're not airplanes. They're not jets. They're making 90-degree angles. They're disappearing as they're moving across the sky. I was watching it closely earlier, and even though I have slowed this down 70%, you will still see some of them moving so fast, like the one that just went across the screen just now. So some of them are actually moving at much, much higher speeds. Some of them are moving a little slower. You see this one right here? Look at this one up here. He just disappeared into the clouds. Here's one parked right there. Now he's moving. Yeah. Definitely makes you wonder what's going on up there. Definitely what's going on up there. There's one parked right up here. Here comes another one that just zipped down. And like I said, folks, I spent, probably about 2.5 to 3 hours going over this video footage. Now, that was a bird that just went by to the left. But I spent, probably about 2.5 hours going over this video footage. And, my jaw dropped a few times. And I'm thinking to myself, my God, it's spectacular to see just one of these objects, but seeing multiple ones just zipping across your... Did you see that one? That one made a 90-degree angle turn right here and then disappeared into the sunlight. So, it's not a bird, not a plane. They're definitely intelligent objects. They're everywhere. They're just having a good old time out there. And even though I slowed this down to 70%, if I were to show you the complete video footage, my God, it would take a couple of hours, because I would literally have to slow it down. But these were the best parts where the most activity occurred. Now, did you see that bigger object go zipping across the sky right in front of you? That was the only one that I was actually able to capture in a frame. And I have the high definition photographs, the still photographs. I'm going to show them to all of you as soon as we're done with this piece of video. You can see this one's just... And then there's another one. You see that one went by so fast, and this one's just poking along. There's another one behind it you can barely see. That's why I was saying, folks, I hope that you're watching this either on a big flat screen TV or a big computer monitor, because if you're watching it on a cell phone, you might be missing out on it a little bit. Yeah. Interesting, huh? Maybe they were coming back to reclaim the implant they stuck in my damn arm. I still have to get the one in the back of my neck cut out, and the I do still have that puncture mark in my abdomen next to my belly button, but there's nothing in there, but there's definitely something in the back of my neck. And my arm healed pretty damn good after the removal of that damn thing, and I'm still waiting for some test results to come back so I can scare myself to death even more. As soon as I get that information back, folks, I will divulge all of it right here on the boob tube. So what do you guys think of all this? Let me read some comments in there, in the live chat. What do you think those objects are? Before I show you the still photograph, I want to see how many people think that I'm crazy. Yes, there was a bird that went by. We can clearly define a bird from an object moving at like 20 to 30,000 miles an hour. Here's one way up here. He's moving kind of slow, but here's the thing, folks. He wasn't moving that slow. Remember, I had to slow this video footage down 70% in order to see these objects. So what does that tell you? That tells you what? That tells you that these objects are moving very, very, very fast. And they're all having a little party right over here. I slowed this down even more. You can see one. I can't even count them that fast. Here comes one into the picture right now. Here comes another one into the picture right now. There's another one moving up right here. Look at that. And then they just disappear into the glare of the sun. Look, there they go. And gone. Disappeared. Here's one. Here's another one. This one just came out. Look at it. I'm going to send this piece of video footage into MUFON. We have a Pennsylvania chapter here, and the guy who runs the MUFON chapter here in my neck of the woods, I'm going to send him this and see what he says. But I really don't need anybody from MUFON to tell me that what we're seeing is it's definitely not man-made. I can tell you that much, because if I showed you folks this video in full speed, you would just be looking at these gray clouds and possibly our sun simulator or whatever. You wouldn't even see these objects. The only way I was actually able to notice it was because of last year. Last year in August, I did the same thing. You know, I was just setting up in my driveway because during the summertime, the spring and summer, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, my house faces exactly due west. So I have that sun beaming down on my house, and my office is my home office actually faces due west, and with all the computer equipment I have in my office, it gets about 10 degrees hotter in here than the rest of the house. I have to keep some UBS fans running on the hard drives, the PCs, the towers, so they don't overheat. But yeah, it gets pretty hot in here. But that sun is right in my face, my side window in my office, between 4, 5, 6, and then 7 o'clock as we get further into the summer. So I set this camera up right in my driveway where I got a perfect westerly view. And I did this last August, and sure enough, that's when I captured these objects zipping across the sky. And when I was watching this video today in full speed, I caught just a little teeny tiny glint of something flying by. And that is what triggered me to say, oh boy, did I just capture these damn things again? Let me slow this bad boy down. And that's exactly what I did. Look at that. You can't deny that going across your screen right now. And again, that right there now is slowed down 80%. 80. And I had the video camera set up for 100 frames per second. 100. Usually, a video is done in 29.5 frames per second or 30 frames per second. You see that one up above? It just literally disappeared. It's like these things are like coming in and out of a dimension. I don't know. I don't want to get into all of that dimension crap. But because they're moving so fast and they seem to change direction, like they talk about UFO directional changes all the time. And I was talking to Dr. Albers about this when I showed her the video. She's standing there with her eyeballs bugged out of her head and her jaw dropped. And I'm like, what do you think? How could these objects make those types of moves? And the only way that they could make those types of directional moves is if they're using some type of anti-gravity. Because if you were in a conventional jet airplane, I don't care if it's the most sophisticated man-made jet, you could not make those types of moves at that speed. You just couldn't do it. The human body cannot take it. You would need to have some form of anti-gravity mechanism in that craft in order to make those types of moves. Yeah. So what do you think? You guys think I'm crazy? If you agree on what we're seeing zipping around the sky today in my neighborhood and what I'm about to show you in the still photographs, if you agree what we're seeing, then you're crazy too. Yeah, there's not too much of this video left, and then I'm going to show you guys the still photographs because I was only able to capture one craft close enough, and yeah, I ran the photograph through my new enhancement program, and it did one hell of a job. I even have one FLIR photograph in thermal imaging, and that was pretty damn interesting because that showed beyond any doubt that, yeah, there was an object there. But yeah, pretty damn interesting, boy, I tell you. I don't even have the words for it. Kind of excited, but then I'm wondering, what the hell are they zipping around above my house for? Go down the damn block, go to another neighborhood. But these objects, excuse me, these objects are, wow, they're probably 10 to 15,000 feet in the air. They may even be higher than that because remember, I'm zoomed in, I would say on a 50 power zoom lens. I didn't really check, but I think I was zoomed in about halfway. So that's pretty high in the sky. So what do you think? You guys think I'm crazy, or are you seeing these objects on your screen? What do you think? What do you think they are? You think they're balloons? You think they're passenger airliners? Do you think they're little small planes? You think they're plastic bags floating in the sky? What do you think they are? Yeah. Yeah, I'm still a little freaked out about all that. It did have me very, very interested once I viewed the video footage and slowed it down, watched it 3 damn times. But after I caught the one object in a still photograph, which was very hard to do, that sealed it for me. 1, 2, 3. But without further ado, folks, why don't we just get out of this little blinkety blink video and let's take a look at the still photographs. I think that might influence your mind. The object that you just saw zipping across your screen at the bottom right there, yeah, that was the object that I was able to capture. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here because there's probably about, I don't know. It looks like there's about 2 more minutes of that video. I'll just go ahead and stop it right where it's at. We might be able to, we could go back to it if we need to. I'm going to show you the still photographs. Do-do-ba-do-do-do. Oh, let this damn thing load. Do-do-do-do-do. Now, if you look down here at the bottom of your screen, where you see me circling my cursor, this is before I enhanced the photographs with this this other program. But I could zoom in. That's about as far as I could zoom in right there. But you could even see the shape of it right now. Kind of got a little diamond shape to it. Seems to be something in the front, something in the back, and right there where my cursor is, there was another object that was leading in front of this object. So they were kind of moving at an acute angle, and then they kind of leveled off real fast. It was weird. Because this object literally came from up here, boom, down to here, and then they leveled off, and then they disappeared out of the shot. But this was before I enhanced the photograph. Now, this was just a little bit of a change in the contrast before I even converted them over to a higher definition. And just doing that, you're able to see a clear, defined shape. And here's the thing, folks. That object had to be 10 to 15,000 feet in the air. And if I'm able to look at it on my screen as big as it was in the original photograph, now that means that that object's pretty damn big. It's not some little drone. That object has to be of some pretty damn big size. Big enough for the camera to pick it up and big enough for us to see it in a photograph. So here's the original. Okay, here's the original, not blown up. You can see it down there. Let's move over to the high definition photos. Let's just stop messing around. Now, here's where things start to get a little more clear. A little bit pixelated, but we're going to get even better photographs of it. And this was just lightened up just a little bit. Can't zoom anymore, but I got rid of all of these pixels in the next couple of frames. But again, it seems to be there was some kind of a dome on top. And there is something behind it. I really can't make out what it is. It has some kind of a diamond shape to it, something out in the front. And again, this little blur right here, this was another object that was traveling right in front of it. Yeah. I'd have to agree with Ryan's comment. How did that comment go again, Ryan? Ryan Partee? I had the same identical comment whenever I started looking at these photographs. Yeah, I said the same thing. Kind of weird, huh? Now, I just switched to another photograph. And here's where we're moving into the high definition. Now you see all the pixels are gone. Now you can see there is somewhat of some kind of a dome shape on top. You could see the perfect diamond shape. There's something, I don't know, part of its little fuselage. And again, something trailing in the back. I believe it would be possibly part of this craft. I'm really not that sure. But you can see it plain as day. I don't know about what was in your sky today, folks, but this is what was in my sky. Just let you guys get a real nice view of that. Just let that sink in. Yeah. And some of you are worried about seeing imaginary planets in the sky. Listen, if you're pointing your cameras up to the sky, like I said before, you got a better chance of catching something like this than some other planet, that's not even there. But let me pan backwards, and this is the full view of the still photograph taken from the video. So this photograph wasn't enlarged. No dimension changes at all. So if you look right there where my cursor is, that's looking up into the sky. I would have to say anywhere between 10 to 15,000 feet. So at 10 to 15,000 feet, looking at the size of the object in the still photograph, that tells you what? That tells you that object has some size to it. Big enough for it to be seen by the camera zoomed in about 25 to 30% on a 50 power zoom lens. But the pictures get better. Let's go to the next frame. Here was the FLIR image, the thermal image. I can't zoom in any more than that. But again, this is a FLIR hot image. So you can see that object right there was hot. And you can see that shape perfectly. And again, you could see its little buddy that was traveling out in front of it that kind of looked just, kind of obscure. Looks like some kind of a small round sphere, but I don't know. It was moving faster than this object was. But you can see very, very, very clear, defined shapes in this damn thing. We're going to move to the next photo. This is a black and white. Check this out. Now this photograph, I increased the pixels to 5,000 pixels per square inch. So I could actually zoom all the way into that damn thing. So let's do that. We could zoom all the way into right there. That's the furthest I could zoom in. Kind of loses a little bit of its resolution as we zoom that far in. But again, you can see that shape, and there is definitely something behind it. I don't know if that was, I don't want to say, I don't know. It could have been expelling something. I don't know. But, just looking at it from this perspective, and there does seem to be some type of a dome feature, something raised on the top of it, and it was kind of tilted a little bit, tilted towards me. and it looked like in the video clip, it looked like it was actually making a maneuver, like making a slight turn, and it actually did, and then it went straight down and disappeared out of the frame of the camera. So what do you guys think? You think that's some kind of a big bird? Oh, boy. Yeah, I'll be staring at these pictures all night. I'll probably have a damn nightmare now. And check this photograph out. Now, I converted the black and white photograph to a high definition negative photograph. And look how crystal clear that bad boy is. And you can see its little buddy right out in front. So let's go ahead and zoom into it. Now you can see it's got a darker color right here on the back side. And remember, this is a negative of the original. So it seems to have a little darker tip here, little darker tip here, and the back side of it seems to be a little darker. We could zoom in a little bit more. And there's its little buddy, which is very, very obscure, but I did see this one moving out in front of it in the original video piece. Definitely has some shape. It seems to be kind of an arch right here, not like just a straight angle. There seems to be somewhat of an arch. It seems to be very smooth, whatever it is. Yeah, pretty fascinating, isn't it? Let's move to the next photo. And again, this is a little bit more high definition. We could get into there pretty close. But as I zoom in even closer, even though it doesn't pixelate, because this object's moving so fast, and even though I had it set for 100 frames per second, you could just see it's got that little dome shape right there. Yeah. Gotta tell you, it's got my interest peaked high level. And I think I got one more here. And this is, now I did crop this image to see if we could get zoomed into it a little bit better. And once again, you can see a little bit of shadowing right here. You could see it seems to have some type of a dome shape right there. You could see the, I don't know if it would be a wing. I don't even know. These damn things could be any shape. They can, who knows, maybe they could shape shift. I don't know. Yeah, but that's what was in my sky this afternoon between, well, I think I was outside around 4:30 in the afternoon. Broad daylight, man. Broad daylight. These little alien buggers, they don't care. They don't care what time of day it is. But check that out. You know, this is not zoomed in. There she be. I don't know. Maybe they were coming to get me today. Maybe they were checking up on me. I don't know. And this is the last photograph, and I just cropped it a little bit more because I was trying to see if I could catch a little bit more definition. And it's kind of hard when an object like that's moving so fast. And I mean, again, even though I had the camera set up for 100 frames per second, still, even at that speed, it was a miracle just to capture that. I don't know. Maybe they'll come visit me tonight. Maybe they'll beam me up. I better stop saying that, right? They just might come do that. Oh, do we have? Oh, yeah, we have one more photograph here. This was a really a good one here. I cropped that other negative photograph and tried to get a little bit of a better view. And again, you can see that defined shape. And again, folks, like I said, whenever it was in the video, it was actually like making a turn. It was making a maneuver, and they make their little maneuvers so fast and at such acute angles, you can lose sight of them instantaneously. And especially in the daytime and, up into these clouds, and they seem to be going like into that cloud, coming back out of the cloud, going in all different directions. And I tried to count how many there were, but they were moving so fast and in so many directions, I couldn't count them. I could have easily been counting the same one 3 times because I kept losing track of it. Let's see how it looks if we zoom into it. Zoom into it all the way. That's as furthest, and it just gets kind of blurry. But backing out to the original frame, yeah. Maybe it was a big goose. Nah, I don't think so. Do geese fly at 15,000 feet and about 20,000 miles an hour or more? I don't think so. I don't know, guys. What do you think? What do you think that is? If you think it's a UFO, just type UFO in the chat as your comment. Let's see how many UFO thumbs up that we can get. Because, look, I've been a sky watcher almost all my life. Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys think that's a UFO, just type in UFO in the chat. We'll take a poll. We'll see what everybody says. Do. Yeah. Yeah, Jason 11, supersonic advanced aircraft. I don't know, brother, because there was a whole bunch of them up there in the sky all at the same time, maneuvering like, I don't know. I don't know if we have aircraft that actually maneuver like that. I'll go ahead and I'll pull up the video piece again. We'll watch the last 2 minutes of it. And, for anybody that kind of missed out in it, you can see all of them. And again, I slowed this down. Damn it, my mouse is getting in the way. I slowed this down 80% in this portion. And looks like they were having themselves a good old time up there in the sky. Going in and out of the clouds, just kind of materializing out of nowhere, zipping across the sky. It was very, very hard. I guess you really can't see them in the backdrop of just the sky. You can see them with the backdrop of this thick gray cloud. Now, something else I had the infrared setting on this camera set. So that may be another reason why the camera was picking these up. because I did have that infrared setting on, and I didn't even know it, because usually I turn that off. But when I checked the camera after I reviewed this footage, I noticed that setting was on. That button, that little switch for infrared was on. Look at those things. You see how it looked like two of them were about to collide, and they quickly moved away from each other. And remember, folks, again, this is slowed down 80% in high definition. I'm just trying to read some of the comments here real quick. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? I'll put the photographs up on the Planet X News Facebook page. I shared all of these photographs hours ago with everybody that is members of our private network, and I am going to upload this video to my private network drive for anybody that wants to download it. So if you are a member of our Planet X News private network, you will be able to download the photographs, and you will also be able to download this footage. Now look at this one. That one just seems to just stop. It's barely moving. But again, this has been slowed down 80%. There's one way up here. Just zipping by. And look, this one just materializes. There's one down here. There's one over here, one here. They're blinking in and out of everywhere. But the way that they move across the sky and then they just change direction is what fascinates me. And again, like Dr. Albers said, these have to be craft that have anti-gravity devices, technology. They wouldn't be able to move at these speeds and these acute angles if they did not. Pretty interesting. Yeah, folks, listen, if any of you want to join our private network, because of all of the censorship now on social media like Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, you know, it's always a fight. It's always an uphill battle with them. And I'm not going to leave myself unprotected if anything occurs one day when the social media giants decide to start purging their platforms again like they do every couple of months. I'm not going to be set up like that. That's why I started the private network just about a month and a half ago, and it's working very, very well. I have people who message me there every day. We're able to exchange some information. You're able to download reports that Dr. Albers puts out. I'm going to be loading more of those in the days and the weeks to come. I also share a lot of info that I don't share here, because if I do, you know, I start getting those community guideline strikes from YouTube, and I just got done with a huge legal battle with them, which lasted 3 weeks and cost me $1,000. So I'm just not having it. The private network is there for a reason. It's there for me to share vital information with all of you. And I've been doing some articles that are available on the private network. And here's the thing, folks. I'm making these articles available in a really, really nice PDF format. And I'm making them available so you can download them. And if you want to download those reports and do your own videos, you can do that. And it's been working out very, very well. Matter of fact, I'll give you a little example of one. Oh. And these are on the private network. And you can download this. All you have to do, I mean, if you're a member of our private network and you were checking this out and you clicked on the link to go to the private network's drive, all you have to do is go right up here and click that download button and put this article into a file. Then you can click on your file, you can bring this up, and you could actually go on YouTube and do your own video report. And this report I wrote up the other day, I think yesterday, if not mistaken. And, excuse me, this was on the sun's magnetic field. And I had a lot of people asking me to explain it to them. Sometimes it's a little harder to explain. It's sometimes best to read the information, have some photographs, some visuals to look at. But let me just reduce the size of this. But I put this into this downloadable PDF format, and it goes word for word. It explains the sun's magnetic field, and it kind of gives you some of the verbiage also. So it talks about the IMF lines, which are the interplanetary magnetic field lines, the sun's magnetic field, and it goes on, talks about the BT values, the other values that are within the sun's magnetosphere or magnetic field. It goes on to talk about the interaction with the Earth's magnetosphere. I put some nice graphs in here that give you a complete, detailed sketch of what the Earth's magnetopause looks like. And I broke it all down for you. Everything is right here. The solar wind, even the Van Allen radiation belts, the plasma sheet that we see flowing behind the Earth as our magnetic field blocks or tries to block the solar wind. It shows you where the plasmasphere is in the front and the back side of the Earth. And this was a very, very good short explanation of the sun's magnetic field explained. All of the information is right there. And again, if you are a member of our private network, you have access to all of this. And every day I'm going to be putting up, at least one of these articles for you guys who's ever a member. You can use them to do your own reports. And literally, you could actually have some content to do a YouTube video. This one here is what is solar radiation management, aka chemtrailing, and this is what these bozos call it now. Solar radiation management. Oh, they adopted this a while back. They were toying around with it. They had to make it, with a fancy name. I did a pretty good explanation here on what they're doing with this solar radiation management. And again, this is all downloadable, and you can pull this up, screen share it, do a video for your YouTube channel. All of the information is right here in a very perfect professional format. And I don't make them real long, but long enough for you to do, a 5-6 minute video. It's all right here. And I just added another one here. This one was on this huge sinkhole in Indonesia just the other day. Oh, this was pretty radical. And again, if you're a member of our private network, you have access to this. So you can download it, you could read it in your own privacy. But I think that it's a good thing that all of you maybe start doing some reporting. You know, if you're too shy, hey, get rid of that shyness. Practice on your computer. Get some screen sharing software. You can use OBS, which is OBS is free. It's a little sophisticated, but you know there are tutorial videos on YouTube that will tell you how to set it up real quick. It's not very hard. You can use the YouTube Google Hangout feature to do live streams. And there's other screen sharing software out there that's a little easier to use. I even embedded 2 videos, bingo, right there, of this sinkhole situation that occurred in Indonesia. And again, folks, more bang for your buck. But I think it'd be a good idea for all of you to jump on the bandwagon, start doing some of your own videos, get the word out there, let other people see what's happening, and get yourself involved a little bit more than just listening to me flap my gums every day. So this is one of the things that I wanted to do with our private network. I wanted to give everybody some content, and you know, in a professional format. I know a lot of people don't know how to do this stuff, but you know, I spent 25 years in the advertising industry. A lot of this stuff just comes naturally to me. I have all of the software and the computers and the know-how to do it, and I can produce these types of PDF files and content relatively quick. I could sit here and do 10 videos a day if I had the time, but I don't. But the link for our private network is in the description box underneath all of our videos. And $10 a month. $10 a month, you guys have access to the downloads. I also have videos on there that you guys can download. And there's also videos that can be watched on our private network that you guys cannot see on the boob tube. Yeah, because if you show them, they're going to give you a community guideline strike or something of that nature. I wanted to show you guys this massive freaking tornado real quick. I'll probably get a community guideline strike for this, but who gives a care, huh? This occurred in Texas just yesterday, and yeah, this is violent tornado. I'm gonna lower this a bit, but these guys are crazy, man. These were McCrory and Duncan. These guys are 2 storm chasers, man, and they were out there in Texas chasing these damn storms. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be nowhere near anything like that. Check this one out. This was over in Romania, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no. Oh, man, the video got messed up. Damn it. Hell. I wanted to show that to you guys. But this was one hellacious, horrible tornado. This destroyed a bus that was traveling down the road, and people were actually recording it as the bus got flipped over. But anyways, folks, I wanted to share that video with you guys of this little collage of UFOs out in our sky. And a lot of things happening right now also with our sun. Be keeping track of all of that here in the next couple of days. We're going to be getting blasted by this solar wind over the next couple of days through the weekend. It's probably going to induce some very serious earthquakes. We'll see how it goes. But that sunspot 2738, that's the culprit. And it's moving back around, and it is very, very active. And you just never know. Maybe it will peter out by the time it comes back around and is Earth facing. We will have to wait for the next 10 to 14 days or less to see what happens. But stay tuned to Planet X News. Join up with our private network, folks. Don't piss around with YouTube. Something occurs and they wipe us off the map. You guys aren't going to know where we're at. Just think about that. You'll be like, whoa, what the hell just happened to Planet X, dude? They're like no longer on YouTube, man. And then you'll be back to watching all of those hokey Nibiru videos, and you won't know what's truly going on. Yeah, that's the ticket. But anyways, folks, I'm going to get back to doing some research. I got a bunch of stuff that I have to look into right now. I wanted to share this with you. I thought this was just absolutely amazing to see these craft zipping around up there in the sky, and also to have the 1 in a million chance to catch one of them in a still image as good as it looks. I haven't seen anything that good, not even on the History Channel or the UFO channel. But it was pretty cool to see that, and it makes you wonder. It really, really, truly makes you wonder. What is going on in our skies? What's going on out there past Earth, past the moon? Is there truly extraterrestrial life? I believe so. Our solar system and our galaxy and the universe is just entirely too big for human beings to be the only intelligent species out there. That's my take on it. But anyhow, anywho, and anyway, folks, it was great having all of you here with me today to share this. Do me a favor. Share this live stream on your Facebook pages or your Twitter accounts, and let other people have the opportunity to see what I saw and to see what you got to see today, if that makes any sense. But anyways, folks, this is Scott from Planet X News. I'm out. Take care, folks. Be safe and watch your weather. Things are going to be really, really dicey over the period of the next 4 to 7 days. So be careful and don't drive through floodwaters. Turn around and stay alive. Take care, folks.